You know what sucks? Burnout. You know, like that feeling when you're doing something pretty productive for a long time. And then next thing you know, it just slowly starts to wear you down and then you don't want to do it anymore. Man, that is such a terrible feeling. Like someone's got to be able to relate to me on this, right? Like I'm not the only one who's experienced this, especially with like the whole self-improvement culture thing. Like tell me I'm not the only one. Like super easy example, going to the gym, right? You start going to the gym, it's all hunky dory. You're loving it or maybe you're not loving it for the first month, but you know, you're pushing through. You're pushing through. And then next thing you know, you're like 4 or 5 months in, you're getting some gains, and you're like, damn, okay, I'm actually looking pretty good right now. This is cool. And so you keep doing it. But then eventually, after like a year and a half, 2 years, you just kind of hit this slump, and you're just like, damn, this kind of sucks now. Like, what causes that to happen, you know? Or like with these YouTube videos, this is another great example. I was doing it for a while, I was really liking it. You know, I was sitting there making videos like every week, every 2 weeks, just as much as I could, talking about music. But then next thing you know, by the time summertime came around, I was like, damn, I'm kind of sick of this. And I mean, I'm still doing it, obviously, but I'm not talking about music in this video. You know, maybe it could be music school now that I think about it. But yeah, do you guys ever wonder why that happens though? Burnout? Like, it's probably happened to you at some point, and it like creeps up on you too. It's not an immediate thing, you know? Like you're just chilling, going about your months, and then next thing you know, you're like, "Damn, man, I don't want to do this thing anymore." So then I kind of start wondering, like, what am I gonna do to push through this? You know, like what could I do to actually keep doing the healthy behavior rather than just stopping and then going back to like old habits? You know, and I'm sure you guys have wondered that too. If you know you have experienced burnout, and I think the answer is variety. Personally, I don't know. Maybe all the years of technological conditioning have just caused me to seek novelty at every opportunity. But I find variety to be so useful in that kind of a situation. Like workout routine getting old, you're kind of sick of it. You don't want to keep going to the gym and doing the same like 7 exercises on repeat anymore. Switch it up. Try something new. And I don't mean replace your bench press with an incline press. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, like, try doing calisthenics. Dude, try training for endurance. Start training cardio. Like, just try something completely out of the blue, especially if you already built up some muscle mass, or you already achieved whatever your first goal in the gym was. Just switch it up. Try something new. What do you got to lose? Do it for a couple months. Or maybe not a couple months. Do it for a couple weeks. See how you feel. Maybe that'll make you want to keep going to the gym. Or in this case, YouTube videos. I didn't want to keep doing YouTube videos because I kept talking about music and I was starting to get sick of it. So now I'm just talking about whatever the hell I want. And this is fun. I actually want to sit down and make a video right now. Let's just say you're really good at painting pictures of fish, right? Like that's your life's purpose. You just sit there every day, 12 hours a day, just painting fish, painting fish, painting fish. Eventually you might start to like see fish in your sleep and it'll be in a negative way, I don't paint fish, but I saw fish in my sleep. That shit was freaky. So then maybe try painting a tree instead, You're still painting. You're still doing the activity that you wanted to be doing. But now you're switching it up a little bit. You're trying something new. Maybe that's the key for burnout. Or you could just rest. People don't like to prioritize rest anymore. It's honestly a little bit batshit crazy when you think about it. Like, isn't the whole point of being productive so that way you can rest later? Like, you be productive so that way you can spend time resting in the future. But people don't like to acknowledge that. People are just like, dude, just be productive, like all the time, dog. Like, oh, you want to sit on the couch? You want to sit on the couch? Well, you're fucking lazy. I don't care what you did today. If you're spending 5 minutes on the couch, you got to get up off that couch. And it's like, dude, isn't the whole point of doing anything to better yourself or doing anything to make money or doing anything to achieve a goal so that way you can chillax once the goal is achieved, I guess a lot of you guys, I built my audience up until this point based off of music production. So a lot of you guys are maybe making beats, right? You're making beats on the daily. You're posting them to SoundCloud. You're trying to get a little bit of clout, right? Just a little smidge, just a pinch of clout. Aren't we all? But yeah. But now you're getting tired of making beats. You're recycling the same old ideas. I talked about this in another video too. The style of that video is way different, but I'll link it in the description. But yeah, so you're getting tired of that. Dude, take a break from making beats. Maybe try something new. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not the answer we want to hear. And it's not the answer that gets encouraged because everyone's always like, oh, dude, hustle, grind, 24/7, don't stop, keep going till you hit your goal. No rest, no break, only a break at the end. But when you take that break better be contemplating your next move because then you're going to start your next move and then you're going to go into your new goal. But once that goal is complete, then next thing you know, you got to contemplate your next goal. That's all life is. Like, fuck that. You get to the end of your goal and you're like, shit, now I feel good. I achieved my goal. I'm going to take a little time to actually contemplate. And that doesn't mean you can't rest along the way either. A good analogy I heard is from the YouTuber Dwayne Knoll from Dry Creek Wrangler School. I'm going to link him in the description. Yo, bro is a baller. That's all I got to say. But either which way, he was saying when you're walking up a steep mountain, sometimes you got to rest on the walk up the mountain. Because if you didn't take that rest halfway up the mountain, you wouldn't have reached the top. You would have gave up like 3/4 of the way up there. And that's kind of what the whole hustle mentality is conditioning us to do, is to just keep going without taking any time for ourselves, without taking any time for the people in our lives, just to, I guess, cause us to fail before we even reach the goal because we're told not to rest along the way. And maybe this is a really niche idea. Maybe no one watching right now can relate to that, but I don't know. That's what I see, at least in my little echo chamber of the internet, you know? And it's like that just causes burnout. That just causes burnout, you know? It's the same thing like in a relationship with someone. You know, if you're if you're up each other's asses 24/7 for like 6 months straight, that's going to cause burnout. It's just guaranteed, you know? You got to take rests along the way. And that kind of goes with anything in life. I don't know, it's just something I was thinking about lately, you know? Like what causes this? What can we do about it? And this is like I kind of talked about this in a previous video, but I feel like this is more of an authentic format. You know what I mean? Which is why I'm really enjoying making these. Because like my other videos, I was starting to script them and edit them and stuff. But this, I can just talk. And I really like that. That's another example of changing it up. You know, that variety. Variety is the spice of life. You know, it's not everything in life, but it's a spice. It adds to the meal. You know what I'm saying? You're reeling in what I'm casting out. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Damn, that pee really just popped. That was crazy. I got to edit that out in post. But yeah, I don't know. I guess if you guys are feeling down in the dumps, you know, if you're sitting there doing your healthy shit, you're on that health wave, and now you're just feeling like you can't really hang anymore. You know, you can't really do it much. Maybe take a rest. Maybe try switching it up. Those would be like my main two things. Sometimes you need a combination of both, you know? That's what colleges do. And I mean, like, listen, there's a lot of like issues with the education system that people love to ramble about. But that is one thing they got right, is that they give you rests, you know? Like, it's not like you got a semester, you're going hard, you're grinding, you're studying. But then you get the opportunity to take a rest in the winter or take a rest in the summer, you know? And that's important because imagine if you were going to school and doing college all of those months. Like, yeah, you could probably do it, but are you really going to learn as effectively? I mean, I guess with some things you might, you know, like if I go on summer break and I don't touch my piano for the entire summer, my skills drop drastically by the time I get back. And I've experienced that. But I've also experienced it where I take a rest for maybe like the first week of, you know, the college break. But then I start doing my thing again a little bit, you know, in small bursts. I'll start playing piano. I'll start making beats just to kind of maintain. And then once college comes back, I'm back at music school and we're back in full swing. You know what I mean? Eat, sleeping, and shit and music all day, every day. And so like whatever your skill is or whatever your, you know, area of study is, you could be a cannabis major. You could be a cannabis major, right? You're sitting there, you're grinding, you're studying all semester. You go on winter break. You know, if you take that whole month to not look at your notes or not look at your stuff whatsoever, you'll probably come back and be like, damn, I don't know jack shit about nothing. But if you do kind of review a little bit, like in small increments, you still take that time to rest, but you look once in a while, you know what I mean? You make sure you're brushing up. You make sure you still are retaining what you already knew, even if you're not learning anything new. You'll come back and you'll still be on the ball and you'll be ready to learn new information because you'll have taken that rest, but you still have allowed that old information to sink in. But I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, so that's just my experience. You know what I mean? That's not peer reviewed. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about burnout, and I hope you guys liked that video. And hopefully you could, relate to some of the stuff that I'm conveying to you. Hopefully you maybe got a few tips from this and you just heard it in a matter of fact kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. Leave a like if you would like, and I will catch you next time, fool.